The American Civil War started in 1861, often referred to as the first modern war, because never before had mass armies confronted each other on the battlefield with deadly weapons created by the Industrial Revolution. The beginning of the Civil War had no intention of interfering with slavery. Northern and Southern states had many economic and social differences. Both had conflicting ideas and beliefs regarding the future of the United States of America. During the war, many African American slaves took the chance to escape to the free northern states. Many slaves tried running away by foot, but experienced extreme difficulty. Congress passed a law saying the runaway slaves who were caught had to be returned to their original owners. This law, proposed by John Crittenden of Kentucky, affirmed the Union had no intention of interfering with slavery. Benjamin Butler, a general in the Union Army, proposed that runaway slaves that made it to the northern states were now property of these free northern states. This plan of 1861 had hidden intentions to encourage African American slaves to take action. Many African Americans in the North and the South were now calling the Civil War the Freedom War. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States of America, played a major role in this Freedom War. President Lincoln held together the Union and led the northern states to victory. His persistent actions and beliefs led to the emancipation of African American slaves.
But we live in perilous times. Our nation is in danger. But let us believe the words of the poet, that behind every cloud, the sun still shines.
However, Lincoln did not always have a strong opposition toward slavery. In fact, he was born into a slave-owning state. At first, Lincoln made the war about maintaining the Union, so he did not offend the southern states. With time and deadly progression of the Civil War, we can see in primary documents just how Abraham Lincoln's views shifted and became more apparent towards emancipation. The first inaugural address promised not to interfere with slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation freed the slaves, and the Gettysburg Address ended the deadly Civil War. In the first inauguration, Abraham Lincoln opened his speech and immediately got to the point. He reiterated his promise not to interfere with the Union in the following passage: "I have no purpose, directly or indirectly, to interfere with the institution of slavery in the states where it exists." Lincoln's simple and clear diction distinctively portrayed to the American people his stance on slavery. He gave the right to each individual state to decide.
Absolutely not. Slavery can stay where it is, but I will not allow it to move west.
2 years later, President Abraham Lincoln implemented the Emancipation Proclamation. According to the 1860 census, anywhere from 20,000 to 50,000 slaves were freed. However, the proclamation did not compensate owners, nor make the newly freed slaves citizens. It still showed progress towards the abolition of slavery. The Gettysburg Address, delivered 11 months later, also revealed Abraham Lincoln's strong physical presence and provided a glimpse towards his changing attitude on slavery. This speech, a mere 2 minutes in length, was among his most famous. It opened, "Fourscore and 7 years ago, fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. By referring to the Declaration of Independence, perhaps Abraham Lincoln wanted to encourage the audience to remember the forefathers of this beautiful nation. He urged the American people to never forget the principles implemented upon advocating the Declaration of Independence. Lincoln continued that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth. Abraham Lincoln's ability to refer to the Declaration of Independence and abolish slavery astonished the nation. He suggests that the nation shall have a new birth of freedom, referring to the abolition of slavery. He insists that freedom and sovereignty are needed in the Gettysburg Address. By looking at primary documents and key speeches, we can see the progression of Abraham Lincoln's views toward slavery. He began small, but with time his views shifted as he played a major role in the American Civil War.